Hi everyone, welcome to our Cal-HOSA Connect seminar. If you have not already, please make sure to put your first and last name in the chat as well as your chapter name so we can take attendance. Otherwise, we're going to go straight into introduction starting with Region 1.
Hello, I'm Harvey Carr, and I'm your Region 1 Vice President.
I'm Claire Sue, and I'm your Region 2 Vice President.
Hi, I'm Rohani Deswal, and I'm your Region 3 Vice President.
Hi, my name is Sahaj Kaur, and I'm your Region 4 Vice President.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ankita Katarkar, and I'm your Region 5 Vice President.
Hello, everyone. My name is Valentina, and I'm your parliamentarian.
Hey everyone, I'm Abhi, and I'm your State Secretary.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I am your Post-Secondary Collegiate Vice President.
Hi everyone, I'm Diana and I'm your State Vice President.
And hi everyone, my name is Matthew and I'm your State President, and welcome to our final Cal-HOSA Connect seminar. So quick, we're just going to go over a overview for this seminar. We're going to start off with a SLC pep rally. Then we're going to move on to what you should pack for SLC. Then we're going to talk about our NMDP fundraisers at SLC, and then our new SLC bingo card / passport that we're offering to all advisors to give to their students. And lastly, our SLC schedule and in-between events that'll be going on throughout your time at SLC. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and we will answer them at the end.
Okay, so first and foremost, we are super excited to announce our theme for the 2025 SLC. Taking inspiration from this year's HOSA theme, which is powered by people, we decided to theme our SLC around superheroes. So we are so excited to see our fellow Cal-HOSA heroes in just a few weeks.
Speaking of the conference, make sure you all have your chapter signs ready for the Parade of Presidents during opening session. The signs do not have to incorporate the HOSA theme of Powered by People or our conference theme of superheroes, but it is always an option. Here are the guidelines for the signs. They must be adhered to a pole or stick no longer than 3 feet. They must not be larger than 24 by 36 inches, and they must identify your chapter name, region, and have the HOSA logo on it somewhere. Please keep in mind that for the Parade of Presidents, only 2 people will be allowed on stage. If your sign does not meet the requirements, you will still be allowed to walk, just without the sign. So get ready to show off your creativity and chapter spirit.
We are also so excited to be continuing our Friendship Cal-HOSA's version trinket trading initiative from last year. Some items that you can trade but are not limited to are bracelets, pins, charms, stickers, and so many more creative ideas. But keep in mind, some things that you're not allowed to trade are items with inappropriate content or profanities and food or perishable items. Also, keep in mind to prevent unnecessary disorder throughout the conference, please do not trade during competitions, ceremonies, or after curfew. Also, keep a lookout for us on Friday around the conference because we have a special state officer trinket to trade with you all.
Moving on, we hope you all have had the time to make some oral hygiene kits for our Guatemala service project in partnership with Nevada, DC, and Colorado HOSA. Here's a reminder that each kit should include a toothbrush, travel-size mouthwash, travel-size toothpaste, and thread floss. Make sure you don't put floss picks. These items should be put in plastic gallon freezer bags, almost some like a Ziploc. We'll be collecting these kits at registration on Thursday morning at Exhibit Hall A, or 1 to 3 p.m. on Friday in Meeting Room B at the Convention Center. This info will also be posted on the Cal-HOSA Instagram for reference during SLC as well.
And last but certainly not least, we know SLC comes with that competitive, vibrant spirit, but we want you guys to keep in mind that the conference is also about networking, making friends, and learning as much as possible. So with that, let's talk about the events available to you at SLC.
As we are nearing SLC, here's a list of things to pack to be prepared for the conference. Starting off with the most important thing to bring is your HOSA blues. This consists of your navy blue blazer with the HOSA patch, maroon tie or optional ascot for females, and white button-down shirt. Please wear appropriate footwear as well, meaning closed-toe, blue or black shoes. This is particularly important for competitors that may be walking on stage to receive awards, as you will not be allowed on stage unless you are in proper dress. If necessary, also bring attire specified in your competitive event guidelines in the event you are competing at SLC. For instance, if you are competing in the CERT Skills event, bring the items and attire included in the CERT Skills guidelines. Bring appropriate casual clothing for social activities or downtime. The dress code for social activities includes everything but swimwear, activewear, sheer or mesh clothing, muscle shirts, crop tops, and clothing that has obscene or suggestive print. Additionally, shirt straps must be at least 2 inches wide and shorts and skirts must be fingertip length. Additionally, make sure to bring jeans, pajamas, toiletries, and devices and chargers.
Don't forget your study materials, number 2 pencils, or any other materials required based on the events you will be competing in. For safety purposes, it is always good to have your personal ID, such as your driver's license or school ID, on you. Remember to pack trinkets for trinket trading. We're so excited to trade with all of you and see all the creative items you have to bring. Please bring pocket money for the HOSA store, NMDP fundraisers, and scholarship basket tickets. It's very important to stay hydrated and nourished throughout SLC, so please pack snacks and water bottles. This packing list will equip you with everything you need for SLC so you can enjoy all that the SLC has to offer.
At SLC, you'll have the chance to support HOSA Service Project, the National Marrow Donor Program, also known as NMDP. So whether it's signing up for the pre-registry, supporting NMDP on social media, or fundraising, SLC will offer plenty of ways for you to get involved. So be sure to look out for your state officer team around the convention center, because each of us will be wearing a fanny pack and carrying a cutout of another officer's face. Donate to the officer you would most like to see on stage, since the winner will be performing at Thursday night's talent show. In addition, the HOSA store will be selling Cal-HOSA NMDP plushies. All proceeds from this plushie fundraiser do go to NMDP, so be sure to purchase a beaver, moose, or giraffe to take home.
SLC bingo cards. Bingo cards are a great resource for advisors to use at SLC in order to keep their students engaged and participating in workshops and different events to make the most out of this exciting conference we have planned for you. We have a sample bingo card on the slide, and the link on the slides has all the prompts we have used, as well as the website we used to create these bingo cards. If your advisor is not attending this webinar, make sure to save this link and show it to them. For a chance to be featured on the California HOSA Instagram, post a photo with your completed bingo card and tag at California HOSA.
So some things to keep in mind are that California HOSA does not monitor this, and it's simply just a resource for your advisors. And this helps motivate students to experience all what our SLC has to offer. And it makes sure students are not trying to mark off things on their bingo cards after curfew, during award sessions, during competitive events, workshops, or even region meetings.
All right, everyone, get excited because in this section, we will be going over big sessions, talent shows, region meetings, workshops, and any quote-unquote in-between activities, or just pretty much activities that you do in between the main events we are going to outline today.
Awesome. So starting off with our first day, Thursday of SLC, we will be introducing region meetings. So region meetings are new and they're basically there to foster bonding between students in each region. Region meetings will occur before all of the big sessions, such as our award session, our opening session, and everything like that. All chapters will be required to go to these meetings before they will be released to the sessions. Next, we'll have opening session. Opening session will be just a bit earlier this year, from around 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. At this session, we'll be going over conference schedule, key events, and what to expect. Between the opening session and the talent show, state officers will be walking around the convention center with fanny packs as part of our NMDP fanny pack fundraiser that Diana mentioned earlier. Finally, we have our talent show. Get excited for the No Talent show. There will be some very talented acts from students. Come see what super ideas your state officers have come up with.
All right, next we have SLC Day 2, which will start off pretty early with the President's Breakfast from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Chapter presidents, this is your opportunity to meet the state officer candidates while eating a delicious breakfast. Next, we have workshop and just in between time, which will be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then from then on, it is the meet and greet from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. We highly encourage you to participate to get to know who you could choose to represent California HOSA and be in charge of next year's initiatives. Then lastly, we have the recognition ceremony from 8 p.m. to around 9:30 p.m. So make sure you and your chapter are prepared to attend.
Awesome. So now we have our final day, which is Saturday. So Saturday, we will be having our workshops. And don't forget, the state officers are also hosting their own workshop called Leadership, It's Heroic. Come quick because spots fill up fast. However, there will be a plethora of other workshops that you can choose from if the ones that you want get filled up. Next, we'll be having our business session. The business session is mandatory for voting delegates and optional for other members. Voting delegates are representatives from their chapter who are assigned to vote on next year's Cal-HOSA State Officer team. Voting delegates will vote on Cal-HOSA business, and the amount of voting delegates depends on how many students are in each chapter. Then we'll have our region meeting. Don't worry, your state officers have planned a lot of fun, different activities for each of the region meetings. And in fact, this region meeting will be pretty special. Finally, we'll have our grand award ceremony. So for the grand award ceremony, it's just where you will be recognized for all of your hard work and competitive events.
All right, so as I previously mentioned, in-betweens are activities that are done between the big events and meetings that we just went over. So some of them are the following. Workshops. For workshops, make sure to check out the conference app called YAP to see which workshops you want to go to. Then we have the Fanny Pack / NMDP fundraiser, which Diana already went over this, but please note that this is only done on Thursday before the talent show. Next, we have competitive events. So make sure to set a reminder for yourself on where your event is, your appointment time, and prepare accordingly. And then we have the HOSA store. So make sure to check it out. I recommend you go in a little earlier to see what we have to offer before it all sells out. This is also where you can purchase a ticket for the scholarship basket. And then trinket trading. This is time in between, which allows you to trade your trinkets with any chapters, and it is an excellent opportunity for you to network and make lifelong friends. Last but not least, we have the Career Expo, in which you will be provided the amazing opportunity to engage with representatives from colleges, universities, and healthcare organizations so that you can connect with industry professionals. The YAP app, which I mentioned earlier, has a specific schedule for all of these events that I just talked about. So make sure to check out the Cal-HOSA website, which has information about how to download that app before we get to SLC.
Thank you, Valentina. And that is all the information we have for you today. I know that was a lot that we just threw at you. So please feel free to leave any questions that you have in the chat. I know there must be a few. So yeah, and we'll do our best to get those answered. So we'll give it a couple minutes just to get those questions rolling in. And yeah. And we just like to emphasize that this is a forum that we created so that we can get all of your questions answered. So please do not hold back. In fact, it looks like we have our first question of the night. This is a really good question. Do you have any recommendations on ways to network during the conference? Um, all right. Can we have Claire share?
Yeah, so one amazing way that you can network during a conference, and this is a pretty one-on-one way, it's trinket trading. So basically, just go up to someone, anyone, to say, hey, you want to like trinket trade? And that's honestly like a great gateway into a conversation, you know. Um, also just saying hi between maybe workshops and, between sessions or whatever. Don't be afraid to approach new people. We're all here, we're all host members, and really we actually have a lot more in common than we think.
And another great way to network during SLC is to attend workshops because there's going to be so many new people that you might meet not only waiting in line, but during the workshop itself. And that's an awesome way to not only engage in a fun workshop together, but also stay connected after SLC.
Going back to what Claire said, just don't be afraid to approach new people. HOSA, especially California, is so diverse and truly so incredible that you never know who you're gonna meet. They could end up being your best friend, even if you guys live on opposite sides of the state. You guys could have so much in common. Um, so of course, don't be afraid to meet new people.
Absolutely. And just adding on to that, you honestly never know like what's out there outside of your chapter. And I know like at SLC it might be scary to like leave your chapter and find new people, but I can speak honestly just from working with this team. I found some of my best friends from all across this state and that I found them at the conference. So really just put yourself out there. And I hope that helps. And I hope you're able to meet a bunch of new people at the conference because that's what our conferences are for. All right, next question. When are chapters allowed to wear their accessories related to their own HOSA chapter theme? For example, sunglasses, cowboy hats, floaties, etc. Sahej, can you share on that?
Yeah, for sure. So it would be really awesome to see all of you guys showing your chapter spirit at SLC with chants, with different accessories. But just a few things to keep in mind. You can show all of your chapter spirit as long as you have your Hosa Blues on. So Hosa Blues, non-negotiable. Any accessories, negotiable. And you can also just make sure to take off all your spirit items before you go up on stage if you're called. And you can wear your accessories outside of the sessions as well.
Yes, we are super excited to see everyone's chapter spirit, so definitely don't hold back on that. All right, next question. Is there a region meeting on Friday? Valentina?
So unfortunately, the only region meetings are Thursday before opening and Saturday before closing. So really take advantage of that time to go get to know your region. And it is a great time for you to network at those region meetings.
Yes. All right. Really good question here. What are you most looking forward to for this year's conference? I think we'll all take the opportunity to share a little bit. We'll start with Ruhani.
Yeah, so what I'm looking forward to the most is meeting all of you since we spend most of the year working behind the scenes on all of our initiatives and mainly the SLC. So I'm really excited to actually meet you guys and get to connect.
Yeah, I think for me, that would be the same thing as well as the region meetings. That's something that we're bringing back. And I'm kind of interested in seeing how hyped that each region can get and how hyped that I can get you guys to be. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm really looking forward to trinket trading and, like Matt said, the region meetings.
I'm super excited to see how our initiatives do, seeing how you guys contributed to our Guatemala project, things like that, as well as our talent show. We do have a surprise in store for you guys, so stay tuned.
Yeah, mine are pretty much just the same thing. I'm super excited to actually talk to you guys, because I know a lot of what we do is very online. And I'm super excited for the Talent No Talent show. And you guys should really go to that because we are doing a talent too. So just saying.
Yes, we do have a very interesting act for you guys. Um, I'd say in tandem with what everyone else has said, I'm super excited to meet all of you guys, but I'm also excited to see how you guys are going to grow throughout the conference with all the workshops that are available, especially our state officer workshop if you want to come to that. I'm really excited to see all the new skills you guys learn, all the networking skills, the leadership skills, all of that stuff, and just see our Cal-HOSA family grow more tight-knit over the course of the conference.
Yeah, I think everything that everyone else has said is true, but I'd also add that I'm really excited to reconnect with people that I've met at last year's conference or even the years before, and also just to meet new people and to see everyone's CYC ribbons if your chapters participated. I'm really excited to see all of your members decked out in those ribbons.
Just real quick, I'm excited to see all of you, of course, and the turnout that you guys did for the Guatemala oral hygiene kit initiative, because that obviously impacts the Guatemalan community tremendously. So I'm really excited to see how you guys did with that.
I'm super excited to meet new people and, as everybody said, trinket trading, and also to see people that I met at FLC as well.
Yes, we're all super excited to meet you guys. All right, next question. Will all the state officers be attending the president's breakfast? Diana?
Yes, so all of the current state officers and the state officer candidates will be at the president's breakfast. So this will give your chapter presidents an opportunity to meet next year's potential team as well.
Absolutely. All right, next question. Are we allowed to bring items such as backpacks into opening session? Caitlin?
So your hotel will have luggage storage available. As for like small bags, the small backpacks or like purses are okay. Just make sure you don't forget it, of course. We don't want you guys losing anything. But yes, small bags are okay for opening session.
Yes. All right, next question. Are both region meetings mandatory and are all the regions separated? I'll have Sahaj answer that one.
So yes, both of the region meetings are mandatory, the region meeting before opening session and then the region meeting before grand award ceremony. All of the meetings will be separated by region, and each region meeting will be hosted by your region vice president and one other state officer, along with the region board representative. You can find your region meeting location on the Conference Yap app, which is currently, you can find the QR code on the Cal-HOSA website.
All right. Next question. Our event guidelines for public health don't say that we have a gallery walk, but it says so on the Yap app. So what do we do? That is a good question, Ruhani.
Yeah, so would recommend that you have your advisor email the headquarters if you have any questions regarding your competitive event.
Yes, for competitive events, unfortunately, we aren't too knowledgeable on each specific competitive event, so best advice for that would to email headquarters or check the guidelines. All right, next question. For the state officers who are seniors, what would your advice be for other seniors to maximize their time at their last SLC? Funny story, all of us are seniors on this team, except for Caitlin. She's a freshman at UCSD, so she'll definitely have some good input as well. We'll also take this opportunity to share each of our little 2 cents. We'll start with Diana.
Yeah, so I can start off. I mean, it's definitely been a long journey. I know a lot of seniors have been in HOSA since their freshman year, and so it's a little bittersweet to be having our last SLC. But I think just to make the most of your last SLC is to have fun and kind of like leave everything out there, go to as many workshops as you can, meet as many new people as you can, because the connections and the relationships that you make through HOSA really do last a lifetime. And another thing is HOSA doesn't leave when you graduate high school. So definitely remember to join our alumni network and stay connected.
I 100% agree with everything Diana said. The HOSA Alumni Network is a really great way for you to continue your HOSA journey beyond senior year. Another thing I would recommend is really find other seniors and connect with them. Maybe ask them if they're going to any colleges, any programs, anything like that. Maybe you guys are going to the same colleges, especially in state. So really just building that network. So when you do go to college, maybe you recognize a few people and you're like, oh, hey, I remember you at the SLC conference. So those small ways are a really great way to connect with other seniors.
I would say that you could just do anything that you haven't done before. Like if there's a specific workshop you never did, like try your best to do everything you can.
I agree with what everyone said. Really make use of the workshop of the SLC conference in its entirety, attend workshops, networks, but also be enthusiastic, have fun with it. Be hyped up for all our conferences, really cheer loud for your region, have fun, and like make nice memories this conference.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Abby here. Get and everybody else. Abby, sorry. Get involved as much as possible. Literally go to as many workshops as you can. And even if you already go into college, if you already got into college, I recommend going to the Career Expo and make use of the network initiatives that we have, which is the trinket trading, right? Because that's how you make those new friends that we were all talking about.
Yeah, and I know something that a lot of us seniors might be facing or might have been facing recently is senioritis. So just keeping in mind that senioritis does not apply to HOSA. We're all there to just have the best time and really just make the most out of our time there. Like everyone said, get involved in as many workshops, learn as much as you can, meet as many new people as you can. I've met so many people at our past SLCs, and even if you get the chance to go to ILC this year, then make even more friends. It's just more opportunities to do all of the same. So, yeah, absolutely just like really give it your all if it's your last one. And just know that it doesn't have to stop at high school. You can absolutely get involved in college. The alumni network is amazing. You can go to whatever state you end up in for college. You can go to their state conferences as well. It's really a really great network outside of high school.
Yeah, so just adding on, I'd recommend really networking so you can build connections that go beyond the SLC, even if this might be as a senior, and enjoying all that the SLC has to offer from workshop sessions and everything else.
Um, I'm technically not a senior. I'm a freshman in college, but based off of my experience last year being a senior at SLC, everything that everybody else said is 100% accurate. Take advantage of networking. Take advantage of the Career Expo. It'll help you get more insight on like future careers or even college advice. But especially that networking. I mean, I am in college, and one of the IEC members is actually at the same college as me in the same dorm hall. So, believe it or not, those networking connections that you make are really strong, even after high school, especially with the alumni network. But definitely, it doesn't have to be your last journey in HOSA. It doesn't have to be the end, but definitely cheer as loud as you can one last time.
On that very, very sentimental note, we will move on to the next question. This is a good one. Tips on how not to be anxious before our events. That's a really good question. We'll have Abhi talk a little bit about that.
So first of all, congratulations for making it this far. You've made it past regionals, you made it past any school level competitions. So you've studied, you've prepared, you've done the work. So just take a deep breath, give it your all, you got this. Read the guidelines, make sure you feel confident, prepared, and be confident in yourself and believe in yourself.
Yeah, and with that, it looks like we don't have any more questions. So I guess we'll wrap it up for the night. Thank you guys for coming. It's our very last one, so whoever showed up, thank you so much, and I'll hand it over to Matt to wrap it up for us.
Yeah, like Ankita said, we just want to thank everyone for coming to our final Cal-HOSA Connect seminar. And thank you for coming to all the previous ones because this is a new initiative that this year's team has made for you guys. So we should like to thank all of you for making it happen. And with that said, SLC is right around the corner in about a week. So we're all excited to see you there. And yeah, with that said, have a great rest of your evening and we'll see you at SLC.